Imagine a world where people vanish without a trace, leaving behind only chilling questions. What if the most terrifying horror stories aren't fiction, but real events that defy all logic? They were here one moment, gone the next. No explanation, no body, just an echoing void. Prepare to be unnerved. Have you ever felt a shiver down your spine thinking about the unknown? What if the line between our world and something truly terrifying is thinner than we believe? Tonight we dive into unforgettable true horror incidents of unexplained disappearances. Real-life vanishing acts so bizarre, so inexplicable, they will haunt your thoughts long after this video ends. We're not talking about run-of-the-mill missing person cases with clear motives or suspects. We're talking about disappearances that defy logic, where people simply vanish and leave no plausible explanation. Over the next 40 minutes, we'll unpack several such cases from wilderness and from within populated places. Cases that baffled investigators. Cases that left families shattered and communities disturbed. Cases that force us to ask, what truly lies beyond our understanding? Stay with us, because what follows may be the most chilling hour of your week. February 1959. The remote Ural Mountains, Soviet Union. A group of 9 experienced hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute set off on a ski trek across the ridge of Kholat Syakhl, which in the local Mansi language means Mountain of the Dead. They were well prepared. Yet something went horribly wrong. Their bodies were found at different distances, some near the tree line, others months later in a ravine under snow. Several exhibited severe trauma. Fractured skulls, chest trauma, missing eyes, or a missing tongue. Traces of radiation were even found on some clothing. Over the decades, hypotheses have ranged from the plausible to the bizarre. A slab avalanche triggered by katabatic winds and snowpack instability. Others propose infrasound-induced panic, military rocket tests, Yeti or UFO involvement. In 2020, the Russian investigators concluded avalanche was the likely cause. But many feel the explanation is incomplete. How do you reconcile the crushing chest injuries, missing tongue and eyes, the decision to flee the tent into the night without shoes? The official reasoning leaves holes. What if they were confronted by something entirely outside our frame of reference? What if nature itself, or something else, forced them into flight and into oblivion? The Dyatlov Pass incident reminds us, sometimes reality is stranger than fiction, and sometimes it's scarier because it remains unsolved. Now let's shift from frozen mountains to untamed wilderness closer to home. It's easier to imagine someone vanishing in remote wilderness, one misstep, one storm, but still. When an experienced person vanishes almost instantly, leaving no trace, the fear grows. On June 14, 1969, 6-year-old Dennis Martin was playing hide-and-seek in the backcountry of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. He disappeared from Spence Field, near the Appalachian Trail, in the space of minutes. More than 1,400 searchers combed the park over 56 square miles, helicopters, bloodhounds, the works. But no body, no trace that could confirm beyond doubt what happened. 3 theories. He got lost and died in the woods. He was taken by a bear or wild boar. Or, the most chilling, he was abducted. His father believed the latter. Dense forest, sudden storms, shifting ravines. But even so, how does a 6-year-old vanish so completely before any adult can intervene? In 1974, a mother and daughter, Barbara and Patricia Atchley, vanished during a camping-hiking trip in the remote Olympic National Forest in Washington state. Search efforts found little to no trace, and their fate remains unknown. What unsettles us about these wilderness cases is the speed and completeness of the disappearance. No body, no clues in many instances. Even search and rescue protocols fail to penetrate the blank. Are these simply tragedies of nature and geography, or do they hint at something more? A boundary we don't fully understand, where humans simply step outside of the map and never return. Then, there are cases where you should feel safe, public, inhabited places. And yet, the vanishings there are just as strange, just as final. It's one thing to disappear into the wild. It's another to vanish from the places we believe are safe. Our roads, our homes, our towns. That's when the fear shifts. If they can vanish, maybe you can too. On February 9, 2004, 21-year-old Maura Murray, a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts, crashed her car on a rural road in Woodsville, New Hampshire. When investigators and a passing bus driver arrived, she had vanished. Her car was found abandoned, items left behind. She disappeared into a cold, lived-in area, not wild backcountry. Her family continues to believe foul play. Her case remains active. What happened in that wooded roadside clearing? Why did she leave her car and just walk away? June 7, 1992. 3 women, mother, daughter, and a friend, vanished from a house in Springfield, Missouri. Their cars, purses, keys all remained. The family dog, the telephone, the front door unlocked, the porch light globe shattered. No sign of struggle, no bodies. Despite thousands of leads, ground-penetrating radar scans in 1996 showed anomalies under a nearby parking garage, potential grave sites, yet no excavation, no resolution. A neighborhood, a home, 3 people, gone, and nothing concrete to show for it. In these populated area cases, the safety net of community, investigation, and infrastructure fails. Instead of nature eliminating the trail, the disappearance happens within the trail, in the daylight, in plain sight, and yet unseen. What does that tell us? That the unknown doesn't live only in dark forests or mountains, but in our streets and homes. And that may be the scariest part. Let's step back for a moment. What do these cases share? Experienced people or everyday people vanishing without trace. Minimal evidence left behind. No body, no confession, no credible explanation. Over time, the cases grow cold. The questions remain, haunting. In each case, the investigation hits a wall. The logical ends. And the unknown begins. So what should we do with this? What is our role as observers of these mysteries? First, recognize the gap between what we know and what we accept. We are comfortable with lost in the woods, or kidnapped, or ran away. But when those explanations don't fit, we must acknowledge the possibility of something truly inexplicable. Second, I invite you to engage. In the comments, share what you believe. Did Maura Murray walk into some conspiracy? Did Dennis Martin accidentally fall into a ravine or something else intervened? What about the Springfield 3? Abduction? Stranger in the night? Something deeper still? Third, stay vigilant. Many of these cases hinge on small details. A call answered too late, a purse left behind, a shattered porch light. In our lives, when we encounter oddities, ask the question, does this fit the known narrative, or is it signaling something else? Because sometimes reality bends, sometimes the boundaries of possibility shatter. And that's when the real horror begins. If you found this deep dive gripping and you want more investigations into the unexplained, subscribe and hit the bell. The truth may not always be what we expect, but we owe it to the missing, the vanished, and ourselves to keep asking. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, some mysteries refuse to stay buried. No more. Be more.